Hey guys, welcome back to another Fushby video. So in today's video we're going to be doing a bit of a rundown on Rift in general. After playing the game since beta, I think we played a 4, we joined the game. We're going to run through our highs and lows, what we like, what we don't like, what we think is what we think makes this game better than other MMOs, and maybe why you guys should buy it and maybe why you should avoid it. So we're just going to give our opinions. Feel free to comment in the section down below if you disagree or agree or want to add something else for other people who may be watching it. So the first we'll get started here. As you guys will notice, I'm not playing my standard character. I've actually just created a brand new rogue. I just wanted to have a bit of a play with the class. It was the only one I really hadn't touched yet. So character creation. Look, in all honesty, I really am disappointed with character creation. Probably one of the things that disappoints me the most about this game is the lack of it. I mean, each side has 3 different races that you can choose from. You've got humans on each side, you've kind of got like an elfy kind of class on each side, and then the only thing that makes the two, or Guardians and Defiant, different is Guardians have like a dwarf and Defiant have like this giant kind of class. So that's the only thing that really makes the sides different. When you go into there, you get to design your face. Do you want how far apart your eyes? You want your eyes to be, how big your nose is going to be, how big your mouth, and what kind of tilts your eyes will be, and whatnot. I mean, in all honesty, the useless customization. It doesn't make sense. They're the tiniest little features. I would have rather have seen more face styles, more hairstyles, things like that. The main good part of the customization, and I say good because it's excellent, is the class role. So what you'll be, whether it be a warrior, a mage, a rogue, or a cleric. And that's where the game gets exciting. We'll go into that a little bit later. Anthony, what do you think of the character creation screen? I mean, if you had to give it out of 10, like, what would you rate it, and what do you like and what do you don't like?
I'd rate it a 5 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's very limited though in the actual customization of your character. Like, you do see a lot of people running around that pretty much look identical, other than the roles that actually make them actually different. But the uniforms and the way the gear actually looks on the characters, it's almost the same. It's not very unique.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably also give, if we took away the class selection and builds, if we took all that away, I'd probably only give the customization also probably a 4 to 5. In all honesty, it's not fantastic. Anyway, look, that's that aside. That's just a minor part of the game. I mean, that's something that you spend maybe 5 minutes on, and then you spend a couple of maybe 4 or 5 hours a day playing the rest of it. So that's really minor. Moving on, now as you do progress in the game, you do get to choose your class. Well, as you start the game, you choose your class, and then as you go through the game, you choose your your roles. Well, not your roles, more your souls. This is where the game gets awesome. The amount of souls per class, and I mean, look, yes, there's only 4 classes, and a game like World of Warcraft does have 8 classes that you can choose from, and maybe that's can even the playing field a little bit, but the amount of combinations this game allows you to create, it's fantastic. And you're not restricted. So if I rolled a warrior in well, look, I'm going to use this as an example because most people are using it as an example when it comes to this game and World of Warcraft, but if I had a warrior in World of Warcraft, I've got my 3 trees. So I've got my arms, my protection, and my fury. In this game, if I choose a warrior, I've got 8 different souls to choose from, and I'm not limited there. I can go out and do quests later, unlock more souls, and then I can have a full tank spec, a support / DPS spec, a support / tank spec, a full support spec. There's so many choices, and you can even go, like, some classes can even go tank, healer, DPS spec, or full tank and then 1 heal spec. It's fantastic. I mean, it doesn't limit it with just tank and healers. Even DPS can have a healer role, and they can also function with a tank role, like a rogue, for example. A rogue can tank and be support heals. I think it's fantastic in terms of the depth of what you can build your character to be. I know this is a feature that's going to be really successful in this game because you're not really limited when it comes to the choices you can make to make your character different to the next person. Out of your playing experience, how do you feel about the souls?
The souls, to begin with, were very confusing. It was a bit it was a lot different than any other game I actually played, but after experiencing how you can actually get 3 of them, and then you can actually get 4, I think, respecs. Well, you can choose between the souls. It's really going to make the game not boring for anyone. Like, you can never get bored about, oh, I'm always tanking, I'm always DPSing, because you can always pick a different tree of a DPS, or a different tree of a tank, or a different tree of a healer. So I just like the fact that you're just not stuck to any of the things, and they've done that absolutely flawlessly.
Yeah, I mean, if you gave it if you had to rate it out of 10, how would you rate that? How would you rate the customization of specs?
Customization of specs, I'd say it's a 8 out of 10. It's a really nice, interesting way of doing also that you actually only go to the trainer to get high levels of skills, but not necessarily to train the skills. You just put points in a certain specific tree, and based on the amount of points you put in that tree, you unlock spells and new spells.
Yeah, I didn't even cover off on that, and that's another thing. As you progress up a talent tree, you unlock spells relevant to that tree. And I mean, I also rate the soul selection and customization about an 8 out of 10. The only reason why I wouldn't rate it a 9 or a 10 is because you'll be able to progress up 2 or 3 trees, and the amount of spells that you will unlock doing this is massive. I mean, you'll have buttons that you could fill your whole screen with and not know what half of them do until you get a chance to try them. And a lot of the spells actually are the same thing, and you would just need to, go off what spec you put more points into in terms of what it does. But yeah, look, that's the only reason why I would hold it back from either a 9 or a 10. Okay, so moving on. As you can see, I'm getting lots of questing done here. Questing is something. Look, I mean, when it comes to MMOs, you can't do much different with questing. It's really kind of the same thing. Different MMO, questing, but different MMO. Questing is very different in this game. It's very streamlined. When you first started, anyway, you'll be doing one thing, and then you'll finish that quest, and then you'll go hand it in. But you don't actually go back to hand it in. You go forward to hand it in. Later in the game, it can get when you get to around level 20-ish, or maybe 15 to 20, you start getting quests where it's very much go back, go forward, go back, go forward. And that's the one thing that I don't like about MMOs is that you can just find yourself constantly going back and forward, and it doesn't feel like you're achieving anything other than, kill 10 of those, come back. Oh wait, I forgot to tell you, you should also probably kill 10 of those as well. Well, why didn't you tell me in the first place? It kind of just gets to the point where you're like, oh god, how much more of this, back and forward stuff is there? And that was the only thing I found. It happened very quickly. And look, it's probably one of those things that's absolutely unavoidable in an MMO. But I wish they had stuck with the trend of when you first start the game. I thought it was awesome. Look, maybe I just did my questing wrong, and I ended up on the, doing everything badly. And you guys can tell me that below if you like. But yeah, look, it's something that I just found died off once you hit about level 15. You kept going back and forward, but yeah, other than that, you can get your mount really early, and you get your mount, and it's not so bad. But the thing with mounts at the moment, and hopefully it gets changed, after about 1 or 2 hits, you're instantly dismounted. I hate that. I seriously hate that. I guess it encourages not to try and mob skip or anything like that, but I seriously hate the fact that if I need to go somewhere, and I've seen roads in this game that lead through packs of mobs, I don't want to have to dismount and kill something that I don't need to kill 20 times just to get through to the other side of the road. It's really annoying. General questing, I'd probably give general questing, it's pretty standard questing, nothing amazing, but I'd probably give questing probably about 6 or a 7. Look, it doesn't really change per MMO, to be honest, but yeah. What about you, Anthony?
Yep, questing after the first starting area, which is trying to get you involved in the game, where pretty much on any MMO, the first time when people actually quit or want to decide to continue is in the first 10 levels, just like WoW found out as well when they updated to Cataclysm. It was very fun at that point, but I found myself falling asleep and not that excited to log on at all, just to play the game, because, as Mark said, it's a lot of quests to just keep on saying, oh, now that you've cleared this, go all the way back to where you were originally, and let's just do something else, you could have told us to do in the first place. So it's, it's really annoying, but pretty much every MMO has to do that to be a huge time sink. So I'll pretty much give it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Like I said, it's really unavoidable in any MMO. It's just, you know, kind of with a new, with this game setting so many different levels of it, you know, it's reaching so many expectations and achieving so many things. You would think that this is one thing that could have made this absolutely fantastic, and they could have done something completely different. But you know, maybe it's never going to change. Maybe that's just the way of the MMO. They need to have that grind fest to keep the players, you know, interested and going. I mean, that's again, it really is a minor thing. Once you hit max level and you get tier raids in your end game, it's going to be a lot different. You're going to forget about that. Let's talk about the minor things of the game. Mapping, I think the way the map's done is awesome. It's got its inbuilt quest tracker, which is awesome. Communication in this game is as simple as anything. One thing I found weird was when you're in certain zones, so let's just say, okay, obviously you got to go from level 1 to, let's just say 19, 1 to 10. You actually get put in a chat, which is levels 1 to 9, and then when you progress into the next zone, which will be 10 to 19, you're still actually in 1 to 9 chat room, I guess we can call it. You'll find yourself talking to people in the wrong channels at the wrong time, and you won't even realize, oh wait, that person's never going to be able to respond to me because I'm in a different channel. Unless you look at what number you're typing in, you know, I'm typing in /2 or /5. I can imagine going all the way through those leveling and those level caps. You're going to be in a whole lot of chat rooms. You can leave them. There's no drama. I found it was something that I wasn't really impressed with. I'd rather just leave it at zone chat. The reason why I'd leave it at zone chat is when a rift or a public raid kind of starts, you want to be able to communicate with the zone. And look, you can do zone chat, but sometimes this mini level chat's kind of getting in the way and kind of annoying. Again, just me having a sook, but something I didn't really like. Moving on, spell queuing. I think spell queuing is pretty awesome. I think Anthony did a feature video on it not long ago. Go check that out if you want to know more about that. All these little features in the game, I think they really do take this game to the next level and utilize features which other games have implemented, but this game seems to have taken them and tidied them up. And the good thing is they're going to be tidied up for release. You're not going to have to wait for a patch for them to come out. You're not going to have to experience, you know, buggy interfaces or anything like that. This stuff's going to be ready when the game gets launched, and that's going to be an awesome feature. The final thing that I wouldn't mind rating is just the graphics and the lighting in this game. Graphics are sensational, and the lighting on spells and just environments are fantastic. What do you think, Anthony?
The graphics is pretty damn good. It's amazing how much dynamic lighting it's got in this game, especially in the dungeons. You just go there for the looks of the place. You have some person who might be holding a torch or something, and they'll absolutely light the whole area around them and change dependent on if they go behind a wall and stuff. They really went overboard with the graphics, which is really nice to see.
So the game in general, Anthony, out of 10, how do you rate the game?
Out of 10, I'd say it's pretty much a standard MMO, but then again, they actually did a lot of things that other MMOs had to go through painfully to just realize that this is the best way to do things. So I'd say it would be about a 6 out of 10, all up.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. I'd give this game about a 7.5 out of 10. With that being said, I've never ever played a game which actually reaches 10 out of 10, so I would say 7 out of 10 is pretty damn good. I have high expectations for this game. I see it doing extremely well. My only fear is, and I have said it in a previous video, is this game is being released now, but in a short amount of time, you're going to have games like Guild Wars 2 going to beta. You're going to have games like Star Wars: The Old Republic actually hitting beta, and that's going to pull all the attention away from this game. And I really worry, how long will this game last? And will you get a chance to reach endgame, experience endgame, at least experience one expansion pack before this game actually loses its supporter base? I really hope this game does succeed. I really hope to be able to see it in the future. Will I buy it and play it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm 100% drawn to this game. It has awesome features. I guess it's something I'm going to need to just enjoy the rest of the beta, really playing it instead of making videos for it, and that will really help me make my decision. Also, a quick link in the section down below, 5 reasons why Rift is different or even better than World of Warcraft. This is from a developer's perspective, a Rift developer's perspective. He goes into detail what features makes this game awesome that they've put in for players to enjoy. Check it out. And that's all we got for you today, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and recommend. Cheers.